Hi lovelies! Welcome into my channel. So I've decided that I'm going to start doing some reviews of various vintage and retro brands because it's something people ask me quite a lot. Where should they go? What should they buy? Are things actually any good from those shops? And I'm going to tell you. My first one is a review of the brand Lindy Bop, who I am quite a big fan of. I have an awful lot of their clothes. They're based in the UK. I don't know whether this stuff is actually made in the UK. I know that there's a brand, Lady V in London, Lady Vintage, who I'm also going to do a brand review of, and they are very big on the fact that their things are made in London, but I'm not sure as to whether Lindy Bops actually are. No, made in China. It's also a bit of a style haul today because I've just got a nice big parcel of things from Lindy Bop thanks to two of my aunts and my uncle Eric, who gave me a Lindy Bop £50 voucher for my birthday. And I managed to, whilst they still had a 20% sale on their site, get in there and grab some stuff. Point of interest about Lindy Bop, they often have sales that are often either a little bit, like the 10 or 20% off, or they can go really massive and you've got 75% off. Sign up to their mailing list and you'll always be notified of all the different sales that they have. So we're going to begin with a little look at what I managed to pick up with my £50. So the first thing that I grabbed was this delightful little sailor dress. Just tuck that around over here. I will actually try this on in just a second. You don't need to just only see it like this. This is a lovely thick cotton fabric. You can imagine this looking absolutely gorgeous with a petticoat. I'm really in need actually of nice kind of halter neck summery dresses because as you saw from my retro underwear review, card up there, I'm a fan of the large underwear. So I'm really hoping that this dress will allow me to be nice and cool up here, but all wonderfully supported down here. This little beauty is a size 8. When I did try it on, I noticed that it was quite baggy in the waistband. There was definitely a lot of room to give, room to grow. I wore a long line bra underneath it as well. So it does actually have, if you can see, there we are, quite a thick waistband, but even then there was still space. So that's good because, you know, summer, all I want to do is eat. Beautiful dress and has lovely little cups in the bib, which is sweet and everything, but I'm never going to wear this without a bra because they're like double D. Next from Lindy Bop, this is something that I was aware existed before, but I had not yet purchased one. And now looking back, I'm like, what? Why did you never have this before? Revolutionised my life. Not the shoes, no, the shoe bows. Look at these. Look at these beauties. Aren't they gorgeous? I spent a long time trying to work out which type I wanted. I mean, there are some gold sparkly ones, there were burgundy ones. I think those are my top 2, alongside the cream. Sorry, top 3, because I really love cream. But in the end I did go with this kind of creamy ivory. And I can wear them on all my different little vintage shoes, and they go either on the front, which I think is utterly adorable. Although my mother did once say to me that if I was wearing more than 3 bows, it was definitely too many bows and I needed to take them all off. Or you can put them at the back. They do stay on if that's what you're worried about. There's some nice little hooks, so they really clip on. Oh, I could clip it on my belt and everything. Oh, just the options, you know? So Lindy Bop, as I mentioned, are a brand that I have been aware of for a very long time. I think I got my very first Lindy Bop dress in 2009. But at the very start, what they were doing was kind of very vintagey reproduction pieces. So it looked as if it could have been made in the 1950s with modern fabrics and colours. And recently they have moved more towards kind of literal patterns. So instead of flowers as your pattern, they now have things like London buses, which you saw from my London traffic dress, which was in my favourites video. Ta-da! And this dress, don't forget, is from Aspire Style. I didn't get this one directly from Lindy Bop. And remember, you've got 10% off at Aspire Style until the end of March when you use the code Jessica. That's my name. It doesn't get me anything, but it gets you 10% off. It's actually the first kind of literal picture type dress that I have liked. I think it's okay, I think it works. Normally I'm very much, the only pattern I do is flowers or spots or stripes because I'm not one for the kind of more American pin-up girl retro look, I'm going to say, which is quite rockabilly. So I think that I was just really emboldened by my London traffic jam print, and I thought, you know what, I might as well. I've got the gift card, I'm going to try something that's a little out of my comfort zone, something I wouldn't necessarily go for. So this is their lovely green cocktail skirt. And as you can see, that's a pretty darn literal print there, Jessica. I'm a little unsure. I haven't really factored it into a lot of my outfits yet. I mean to try it on more, wear it around, see what it's like. This one, however, was super cheap. Super cheap in the sale. Lindy Bop do skirts that are complete full circle skirts. Oh, it's like a bib or a poncho, which are obviously fantastic over a petticoat. They are exactly what you need if you really want to create a kind of 1950s swooshy skirt. If you're like me and you love twirling around in your massive petticoat and potentially hitting people with it. The fabric is quite thin, it's very glossy. I picked this up in a size 8, which is great because obviously it's just the waist. At the same time, I got another skirt from Lindy Bop. I got the Adeline, the City Lights print, which is, oh, it was just beautiful. It kind of looked like hanging baubles. I really thought it was fantastic. Tried it on though, and it just looked as if it was pulling too much at the waistband, which was an awful shame. And I was in two minds. Do I move the button across, or do I send it back and get a size 10? I took my wife's advice and I sent it back and said, can I have a size 10? And then Lindy Bop were like, no, we don't have a size 10, but you can have some store credit. I was like, why didn't I just move the stupid button? I sent it back and they gave me store credit for the exact amount of the dress, which if you think about it, it's a bit annoying because you can't actually then buy a skirt of the same price because then you have to pay extra for shipping, if you get what I mean. Because if my store credit was like £25, so if I bought a skirt that was £25, I'd then have to pay an extra £3 for the shipping. Do you see where I'm going with this? That just feels a little unfair to me. Oh, hey! More stuff. Okay, I really like, by the way, that it says, open me up for Lindy Bop loveliness. Okay, so in place of the Adeline, I managed to pick up, ooh, this skirt. This is the Peggy Sue in navy. It's another circle skirt because I really appreciate a circle skirt. They're very hard to find, but it is just the plain navy. It doesn't have the pretty pattern on it. I'm wearing a little Lindy Bop outfit here. And then obviously my beautiful top. I should add that this skirt I'm wearing is the only Lindy Bop skirt that I will wear without a petticoat because it's a thick fabric. I generally do wear a petticoat underneath it, but it's a thick fabric and I find that with a petticoat it chunks me. Oh, this is lovely. It's really thick cotton. It definitely feels higher quality than the cocktail. The kind of shiny cocktail. Now I'm really hoping, oh, that looks a bit big actually. That is a massive waistband, no? To review, the size 8 cocktail skirt did fit me, but the size 8 Adeline skirt didn't fit me, so I got the size 10 of the navy skirt. Okay, so that's the difference between a size 8 and a size 10. And what else did I get? Bows! I'm a little obsessed with these actually. Shoe bows are the best. So as I said, I got the bows, and then they do other styles on Lindy Bop. I think there are some small bows like I showed you, puffy bows, and also these which look like bunny tails. And I'm assuming that these gorgeous things are going to look best probably on the back of the shoe. Let's have a little look. The worry, yeah, I want to try these out, but of course the worry is slightly that you look like a clown. Oh, you like them? You don't like them? What do you say? I'll put a little poll here, you can tell me. Like it? Don't like it? Like it? Don't like it? That's just adorable to me. It just, oh, that looks really cute. Now, let's discuss my history with Lindy Bop for a full-on brand review. Ba, ba, ba. So, as I mentioned, I got my very first dress from Lindy Bop in around 2009. Okay, now this is a dress that I believe they are still selling, or they're selling something very similar. The fabric is a stretch cotton. It's pretty great, it's pretty forgiving. There is some slight tearing in it, but after all, I have had it for an awfully long time, and I have worn it quite a lot. It's always had a difficulty at the waistband, but not too bad. I know that Collective Clothing have got a much worse problem when it comes to the waistband, and I will do a review of them. So this was my first dress from them, and clearly I quite enjoyed wearing it, because I wear it a lot. It looks absolutely brilliant with a petticoat underneath it. I did mention Collective just a moment ago, and obviously Collective clothes, skirts and dresses mainly will come with a petticoat already inside it. Personally, because I'm a massive fan of the massive petticoat, I will put another petticoat up there. Oh, that was weird. I will put another petticoat up there just to really boof it out. Sometimes I put two. But Lindy Bop dresses do give you the option if you like a retro dress but you're not a fan of a big puffy skirt. Of course, the lack of petticoat does mean that there's more variation. You can wear it with or you can wear it without a petticoat, and it also means it's so much cheaper. Collective clothes can be on the more expensive end of the scale, and when I say can be, I mean definitely are. Yeah, their tops are more expensive than Lindy Bop's entire dresses, even when they're full priced. I have had some issues with Collective Clothing, although I do think, oh my god, they are beautiful. So much is beautiful. Another great thing is, we're going to show you this from the back, I really struggle. Most of my height is in my body. I'm 5'9", and the majority of it is like arse to head. We've got some actually good length here between the shoulder and the waistband. And actually I can't credit Lindy Bop for this all the time, because I do have another dress which is currently in the attic where I keep my clothes. With an incredibly high waistband, it is almost just under the boob. Other Lindy Bop items of clothing I own. This currently needs to be ironed orgy dress. My beautiful candy striper dress. Other items include my absolute all-time favourite skirt, which I was wearing too much, so I had to package it up and put it in the attic to give some of the other clothes a chance. But here it is, in its beauty. So there you go, those are my Lindy Bop items of clothing. Now, let's get on to some of the most important things you want to know about the brand. Okay, in all of these brand reviews, I'm going to be judging the clothes by 4 things. The first one is look, because that's literally the most important thing, clearly. The second one is sizing and wearability. Yeah, it looks great, And there are certain things I own that just look great and I wear them for 5 minutes. But maybe if you're spending some money, you might want to actually buy something you can wear all day and feel good in. Number 3, price. How much does it normally sell for? Do they do sales? And is that price justified? And finally, number 4, ease of shipping. Seems like it's not important, but it has to get to you somehow. These are our 4 important things from our reviews. Okay, number 1, look. Lindy Bop, I think, has come a really long way since it very first began. I think they were only offering, when I first looked, like 3 different variations of dress, and they would come in different colours. But that was pretty much it. And now they are offering everything from shoes to coats to children's wear, and you know I'll be matching my children to my dresses. You know I will. One thing I really appreciate about Lindy Bop is that their era of the kind of 40s and 50s, I would say, they've not deviated from that, which I do really appreciate. So yeah, I've already mentioned how they are moving more towards this really literal print look, and I'm still really not sure how I feel about it. I love the London traffic dress, but the cocktail skirt maybe will be too much. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to wear it. Or I'm gonna guess it's my favourite new skirt. I've actually worn it 20 times now in the last month. Wait and see. Check my Instagram, see what happens. As you saw earlier with me holding up those 2 skirts, the sizing can be a bit strange. My clothes from Lindy Bop are a variety of size 8s and size 10s, and they seem to all fit me. It does feel a lot like a certain line. You have to get the 8, and then the skirts, you have to get the 10 to get the same size. I'm not sure, that's a bit strange to me. I'm not sure what that is. It could just be that I have bought clothes for a very long time from this shop, and maybe their sizing has changed in that time. I am not sure. But I would advise, definitely measure yourself. I really should take my own advice, I forget this all the time. I would advise you to measure yourself, please, yes, before deciding on which size you're going to get, and do it for each individual item, not just store size. Next up, price. Now, I've already mentioned that they often have money off sales, so subscribe, get that email, which is excellent news for anyone like me who loves a bargain. But the price universally, whether it's full price or not, is always incredibly reasonable with Lindy Bop. I do feel some of their fabrics are a little thinner than most, but if you need a summer dress, you don't need it to be a very thick fabric, and you probably don't want it to be very expensive because you're going to be putting your own petticoats underneath it, accessorizing with your own belt. I would say really reasonably priced, really worth it. Definitely a good shop to go for. Although, of course, I should add, when it comes to sizes, my boobs throw everything off, because I do have a size 8 waist most of the time. So a dress, I want it to be a size 8 around the waist, and then it gets up here and it just won't do up over the boobs. Ease of shipping. So Lindy Bop are a UK company. It's super easy to get stuff in the UK. They send it out, you can pay I think £3 and it's 5 to 6 working days, or £8 and you can get it next day. Returns I found very easy. That was absolutely fantastic. I've had some returns from some places and they're like, oh no, Royal Mail didn't carry this. It's free returns, but only if you do it by Hermes. Always have great customer support at Lindy Bop. Always. They are lovely. They will get back to you. Tweeting them, they will always reply. I really like them on Instagram. There's the hashtag LindyBopLadies, which I always love looking through. And finally, just to cap it off, here are 3 things that I think are amazing that they're selling right now. And here are 3 things that I think are terrible that they're selling right now. So there is my review of Lindy Bop. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Let me know what you'd like to see more of in future reviews, what I can just lose that you don't really need. And if you've bought anything from Lindy Bop, what you thought and what you would like me to review next. Mwah. Enjoy the rest of your day.